Hi, welcome to the Bread Lab at SFBI. Today we're offering a bread coupling sprouted grain and kamut flour. Kamut in both whole and white form. Our kamut or Khorasan wheat is getting a lot of popularity in the baking world. It's easier digested for some folks with gluten sensitivities. We're using that today, whole kamut in our levain. We also have white kamut going into the final dough. We're coupling that with 30% sprouted grain. Today it's sprouted wheat. You can use gluten-free flours that have been sprouted as well, and not sacrifice the performance of this bread. We find that there's a little variability in distributors for sprouted flour. This is sprouted, dried, and then ground. We like to hydrate that in advance with a hot water bath prior to going into the bread to bring that moisture back in, knowing there's variability in our flour itself. We're also using a pouliche with just white wheat flour. Our soaked sprouted grain comes back to life very easily, ready to go into the mix. Our pouliche. Sprouting yields a fully digestible grain. Coupling that with sourdough is a really healthy bread. Our levain. Water for the final dough. Dry ingredients. There's wheat germ included in this formula. A little bit of flavor, nice toasted flavor coming into your bread, as well as some of those minerals. We're going to go for 5 minutes in first today, with a little bit of second speed to bring in some strength. Using reverse if you have it with your machine during the incorporation phase. Moving into second speed, develop a little bit of strength, looking for an improved window. Okay, finally checking a gluten window. We've arrived at our improved mix. Depending on the granulation of your sprouted grain, might be larger or smaller particles. Clears the bowl, showing good strength. Okay, now we'll move this into our bus tub for our bulk fermentation. So we're 45 minutes into our bulk fermentation. We're going to give our first stretch and fold, first of 2 stretches and folds. If you find your dough is a little soft at this point, you can modify your stretch and fold, working from those longer edges first. And I'll turn my bus tub, and then I'll just roll up from there. I can pin it against my body. Okay, returning to our dough. We're 2 hours into our bulk fermentation. We did our second fold just over a half hour ago. Looking at our dough, we're ready to divide. We see some rounding of our edges. If you look in and kind of grab the dough, it definitely feels like it's lightened as well, showing some strength, limited extensibility. So a little dusting flour on the table. Okay. Today we're going to be doing our final shape into 850 gram pieces into our 14-inch lined baskets. Okay, we're going for a round pre-shape. Okay, for our pre-shape, any technique works. Fold in your edges, all 4 sides, flip it over, and then bring in just a little bit of tension. Okay, just enough to bring in some strength. You don't want this dough to dribble like a basketball. Okay. Okay, we'll allow a 30-minute rest before we move into our final shape. Okay, our loaves have rested 30 minutes. They've relaxed. They've gassed up a little bit more. We're going to go into our 14-inch lined basket with these. Cloth lined, tap with a little bit of flour in there, flour of choice. Maybe a little bit of whole kamut to distinguish what's inside. Get a little texture. Then we'll go into a Batard final shape. Right, so our final shape, we're going to go with 2 letter folds. There's our 1 letter fold. Stretch that out in front of ourselves. 2nd letter fold. And then just a gentle roll up. 1, about 1/3 of the way over. About 1/3 of the way. And then we'll finish that with a seam. Okay, so there's our seam and our final shape. Again, 1/3 for our first letter. Stretch for our 2nd letter fold. Just making sure you're not stuck to your table. 1/3 over. From there, fold it again. You can seam, pinch the ends, and drop it in your basket seam side up. So seams are up. The dough will flow a little bit into the basket, have a nice full basket when we go to the oven. Here we have our loaves after a night in a retarding box set to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. They got a slow final rise, are gassy, and they show some life. We'll go right into the oven. If they still feel a little sluggish, they can get a little bit more time before baking. Okay, turn them out. Give a little bit of pre-steam to my oven. Scoring of your choice. I like a single score. Nice low angle right across the front of that bread. Okay, 2 scores is nice as well. Looking in there, nice open structure from a long fermentation. Okay, going in, a little pre-steam. Setting my oven to 26 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Closing the door. Good 2 seconds of final steam. 2 or 3. 1. Start my timer. Okay, our bread's baked 26 minutes, vented 10 minutes. We'll pull them out and see how they look. Very nice. Ear popped well. Check the bottom. Looking for the hollow sound of our baked breads. We can chop one open, take a peek inside. Nice crumb, beautiful crumb. 30% sprouted grain in this, sprouted whole grain.